There are literally hundreds of upcoming gacha games, turn-based, action combat, instanced, segregated world, open world. I have compiled the largest, most comprehensive list of upcoming open world gacha games, filling literally every single genre, every single subgenre, to help you guys plan your future. I'll have separate videos going over every other genre coming out over the next couple months. This list is sorted alphabetically, so we're gonna begin with Aether Dawn. Aether Dawn is an anime-inspired 3D hack-and-slash action RPG set in an original cyberpunk fantasy universe. It blends third-person ARPG combat with roguelike dungeon crawler mechanics and is being developed by a team of former Kudo Games, Hypergriff, and Tencent developers. It is developed and published by Jin Universe Studios. There are no public beta tests yet. The game was just announced in June 2026. There is no release date information yet. It is releasing onto PC, iOS, and Android. It is a third-person hack-and-slash ARPG with roguelike elements. And we have Ananta, which is a free-to-play, urban, open-world RPG set in the chaotic, paranormal-filled Nova City. Players will take on the role of an elite anti-chaos directorate agent with high freedom to explore a vibrant, humorous, and mysterious metropolis. It stands out for having no character gacha at all. You instead unlock characters through gameplay, with monetization, the gacha itself focused on cosmetics. It is being developed and published by Naked Raid and NetEase Games. There have been internal and offline technical tests. I got to play one myself. The release date is speculated to be 2026 or 2027. It is a real-time action combat game with environmental interaction and character switching. Aniimo is a free-to-play creature collection open-world RPG set in the fantastical continent of Idle. Players will explore the world, capture magical creatures called Aniimo. It will transform into them to solve puzzles and engage in real-time combat and multiplayer activities. Legendary creatures use a gacha-style acquisition system, where every other type of creature you can catch out in the wild. The developer and publisher is Paw Print Studio. There have been multiple closed beta tests, including global beta testing in 2026. The release date is going to be in the third quarter of 2026. It is a real-time action combat system with creature transformation mechanics. Azur Promilia is a fantasy open-world RPG centered on creature companionship with over 180 different Kibo partners. Players will explore the continent of Promilia while bonding with creatures and engaging in party-based combat. It comes from the developers of Azur Lane and has seen multiple different beta tests with significant visual and combat improvements. The beta tests, unfortunately, have just been China, Korea, and Japan, nothing global yet. The developer and publisher is Manju, with various different regional partners publishing outside of, I believe, China. Once again, there have been multiple beta tests that have taken place between 2025 and 2026. Release date does state specifically for Korea 2026, but that's likely to be delayed. We're all expecting a 2027 window. It is a real-time party-based action combat system with full switching skills and a functional parry system. CookieRun NewWorld is an ambitious open-world adventure RPG set in the long-running CookieRun universe. Players will explore the Cookie continent as mysterious darkness returns, bringing the franchise into a large-scale 3D open-world format for its 20th anniversary. It's being built on Unreal Engine with significantly enhanced visuals compared to previous entries. The developer and publisher is Dev Sisters. There have been no public beta tests yet. There is only the 2029 release date confirmation. It is releasing onto PC, console, and mobile. It is going to be an adventure game with RPG combat. That is literally all the information we currently have. Honkai Nexus Anima is Hoyoverse's creature collection title that combines open world exploration with auto battler and strategy combat using Anima companions. Players will freely explore interactive environments while collecting and battling with creatures in a vibrant world. It represents a different gameplay direction from previous Honkai and Genshin titles. The developer and the publisher are Hoyoverse. Closed beta tests have already taken place. There is no confirmed release date as of yet. It features open world exploration and an auto battler, auto chess strategy style of creature combat. Petit Planet is a cosmic life simulation game from Hoyoverse inspired by Animal Crossing. Players will nurture and develop their own planet, connect with anthropomorphic animal neighbors across a galaxy, customize landscapes, and embark on starsea voyages. It focuses on cozy building, social interactions, and exploration rather than combat. The developer and publisher is Hoyoverse. There have been beta tests held as well. There's no release date confirmation yet. The combat style, again, is not present because it's life sim focused. Project 2/3 Utopia is an anime-style open-world ARPG featuring multi-dimensional travel. Players will switch between fully realized 2D and 3D worlds while exploring time and space alongside a guy named Theseus. The unique dimension shifting mechanic sets it apart from your typical open world gacha titles. The developer and publisher is Diversity Games Studio. There have been no beta tests yet. There's no release date confirmation yet. This is an action RPG with dimensional travel and dimensional shifting mechanics, which could be really, really cool. Project NAMI is Kudo Games' upcoming action multiplayer online game set in a world that mixes technology and fantasy, featuring gears, rune-covered armor, and giant war machines. It is positioned more as a competitive multiplayer action RPG rather than a traditional single-player open-world experience. Details do remain relatively limited as the project is still in active development. The developer and the publisher is Kudo Games. Beta tests do not exist yet because, again, there is very limited information on the game. There is no release date confirmation either. What we do know is that it is going to be an action-focused multiplayer game with 3D tech fantasy, which sounds honestly kind of cool. Project Spirits is Shift Up's new flagship cross-platform title with an Eastern fantasy theme, formerly known as Project Witches. It is being developed as a high-quality follow-up to Stellar Blade and Nikke. It is expected to feature open-world environments and is being co-developed with Tencent-related partners. The game is still in relatively early development with a 2027 target. The developer and the publisher are Shift Up. Level Infinite are publishing globally. No beta tests have been held yet. They did confirm years ago that it was targeted for 2027, and they are still on schedule for a 2027 release. It is expected to feature action combat. There was also reports of some third-person shooter elements as well, which could be really cool if they somehow implement the Nikke style of third-person shooting into a game that is drastically superior to something like Snowbreak. Project Sun is Kudo Games' internal codename for a large-scale combat-focused open-world action RPG. It emphasizes cinematic storytelling quests and a mix of modern fantasy and sci-fi elements, being built on Unreal Engine 5 for PC, console, and mobile. The project remains in very early development right now with limited public details. The developer and publisher are going to be Kudo Games. No beta tests, no release information. All we know right now is that it is going to have a high-fidelity 3D graphical style being built on Unreal Engine 5, and it is going to have fast-paced open-world action combat as well. And if Wuwa has shown us anything, Kudo knows how to do all of that. Rewinding Cadence is an open-world action RPG built around time loop mechanics. Players begin at the end of the world, they gain the power to rewind time, and they must avert catastrophes within a limited time frame. The time loop system influences both the narrative and the combat. The developer and the publisher are both Star Oasis Studios. This is a subsidiary of Tencent. Beta tests have been held. There was a tactical test in China. The release date information does not exist yet because, I mean, they've only held one beta test. The combat style is full action combat. It features an open world. It is very narrative heavy, and the time loop elements are really going to allow for this game to set itself apart from its competition. Sea of Remnants is a visually distinctive ocean fantasy open world RPG where players take the role of a puppet folk pirate seeking lost memories. The game features dynamic sea and island exploration, fleet building, and recruiting a large crew of eccentric wooden puppet companions. It stands out for its unique non-anime puppet aesthetic and mix of naval and land-based gameplay. The developer and publisher are the Sea of Remnants project team. Beta tests have been held. There was an early access. There's even the Chinese release that happened recently. They did delay global, unfortunately, back into 2027. Nothing concrete has been given. Combat is team-based with naval and land battles as well. Shining Embers is a top-down co-op action RPG gacha set in the fallen continent of Aeter, which has been eroded by mysterious embers. Players act as fire bearers and team up with up to 2 to 4 players to battle giant ash beasts while exploring ruined cities and wastelands. It draws inspiration from Diablo-style ARPGs with a focus on large-scale boss fights. The developer and publisher are Hangzhou Qianhu Network. There have been beta tests held. Unfortunately, we do not have a global release confirmed yet. Once again, the combat style is real-time, top-down, isometric. Silver Palace is a detective-focused, open-world action RPG set in the Victorian-inspired metropolis of Silvernia. Players investigate mysteries in a world where reality blurs with fables, combining story choices, deduction, and fluid real-time combat. It has undergone multiple beta tests, including the recent Dichotomy beta. The developer and publisher is Silver Studio, or Happy Elements. Beta tests have been held, multiple, one back in January, the more recent one in July and August. The release date is yet unconfirmed. Once again, the combat style is full real-time action. The combo systems are crazy. The parrying system has a lot of focus. There is a very large emphasis on it. This is a beautiful game that is probably going to take the world by storm as long as they handle this correctly. Unending Dawn is a dark fantasy open world action RPG set in a world ravaged by catastrophe. Players confront cursed creatures and seek the truth amid malice and ancient legends in a grim atmospheric setting. The game has been in development for several years with multiple showcases. The developer and the publisher are Parse's Fate Studio. Beta tests have been held, not public ones, but multiple showcases from the beta test have been held over the years. There is no release date confirmation at present. This is an open world action game. It has combat that's kind of Souls-like and a little bit Sekiro influenced. Varsapura is a supernatural urban open world action RPG with strong psychological thriller tones. It's set in a modern metropolis. It involves the Shadow Bureau, reality distorting threats, stealth, and fast-paced combat. It is developed by HoYoverse on Unreal Engine 5. It features a more realistic visual style mixed with anime-inspired character designs. It is developed and published by HoYoverse. There have been no beta tests so far. There is no release date information. It is a fast, real-time hack-and-slash action game with an emphasis on stealth and stealthy takedowns. Wang Yue is a modern Chinese fantasy open-world action RPG that blends urban city environments with mythical and science fiction elements. Players confront reality-distorting forces in a unique setting that mixes contemporary and fantastical aesthetics. It's seen closed beta tests going back all the way to, I think, 2023 or 2024. The developer and publisher are Star Studio and Shila Network. There was a beta test held very recently in 2026. There is no confirmed release date at present. This is a full open world action RPG that allows for you to not only capture but also deploy various different creatures, much like in Azur Promilia, much like in Honkai Nexus Anima, much like in Aniimo. And finally, Xunjing, The Realm, is a fantasy-themed open-world third-person shooter with a high degree of exploration freedom. Players will traverse a rich fantasy setting while engaging in third-person shooter combat. The public English information remains very limited compared to higher-profile titles. The developer and the publisher is a Chinese studio. There haven't been any public betas held. The release date information is just completely absent because, I mean, they haven't even held any beta tests yet. The combat style is a fantasy open world third-person shooter, and it takes a lot of inspiration from Nier Automata. And those were, actually, you know what? I don't even know how many games there were in this list. 15, 17, 18 open world action gacha games. Yeah, the next year or two is going to be overrun. We are going to be overwhelmed with incredible games to play. Not all of these games are going to do good. Not all of these games are going to succeed, but a few of them will. And I can't wait to see which ones do. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment, so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you are not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.